Hey everybody, it's the Gaming Kitten. I am back with another fun-filled, entertaining story today from r/entitled parents. So let's just dig right on in, hop on in, and enjoy these crazy stories. Alright, the first story that we will be reading today is entitled Mom Tried to Tase Me, Got Arrested, created by Toasty Boy 6. We all know the names. Me is me, EK is entitled kid, EM entitled mom, M my mom, H hero, DL desk lady, C1 and C2 for cop 1 and cop 2. So I am only 14, turning 15 in June. I know this doesn't sound believable that a 14-year-old could have an entitled mom encounter. But there are probably many people under my age that have encountered an entitled mom. By the way, I'm Australian, so you might see some words are spelt different, like mom is spelt mum here. Keep in mind too, tasers are illegal in Australia. So I don't know where this woman got this taser from, but anyway, let's get on to the story. So this was back in 2018. I was 13 at the time. My mom and I went to the medical center. It's like a hospital, but smaller, and it's more for checkups for injuries or illnesses. I brought my Nintendo Switch with me because my mom was going to be in the other room with the doctor, while I was sitting outside by myself. So I brought my Switch so I could entertain myself. I inserted my Super Smash Bros. Game because that was the only recently released, and I've been a really big fan of Smash Bros. Like my whole life. While I'm playing as my Cloud, my main at the time, here comes the Karen. Same old Karen haircut, acrylic nails, jeans, black shirt, gigantic sunnies, sunglasses, and her little brat. She was on the phone with someone when she was at the front counter. The lady at the counter greets her with a, "Hello, how are you today? Are you in for an appointment?" She scoffs and answers very rudely. Entitled mother on the phone. "Ugh, hold up 1 second. I have to deal with this rude person who cannot tell I'm on the phone. Goodness me, some people." Puts the phone down. "Yes, I'm here for an appointment. My name is Entitled Mother, and I'm here for an appointment for my child, Entitled Kid, at 5:15 p.m. She does all the paperwork stuff, blah blah blah. Boring crap. And unfortunately for me, she chooses to sit next to me, or at Entitled Kid sit next to me, and Entitled Mom sat next to him. So the seating arrangement was Entitled Mother, Entitled Kid, me. I'm playing my game, just minding my own business, when Entitled Kid just starts a conversation with me.
Oh my god, is that a Nintendo Switch?
Uh, yeah,
And you're playing Super Smash Bros?
yep.
Can I have a turn?
I hate being nice to people. My brain didn't really process anything about how I'm talking to a son of a Karen. And so I said yes. I pulled out both Joy-Cons and we start playing. As we are picking the characters, he gives me a grin and says,
Now don't start crying when I beat you because I am the best at this game.
"Didn't know you could be the best at the game when it had only been out for a few days." I destroyed him because he really had no idea what he was doing. We played 5 lives, unlimited time, only Smash Ball, blah blah blah.
No, no. This controller is broken. You're a hacker. You're bad.
I tried to hold back laughter because of how funny his reaction was, but also a little embarrassed that he screamed that out in front of people and some people stared at me like I was his sibling or something like that. Okay, well, it was fun playing. I take the Joy-Con off him and reattach both of them to my Switch as I walk to another spot just to get away from them. They follow me. This time, I'm in between both of them. Entitled Mother stares me down. I can see hell in her eyes, just a blazing hot fire staring directly into my soul. Why did you move away from us? Because I feel uncomfortable that two random strangers are sitting next to me, even though they are like 20 other seats open for you to sit in. Oh, come on. Stop your complaining. It's not that bad at all. Anyway, you made my son upset by beating him in your game. And I am really pissed off about that. So I feel like you should give your device to my son. No. This is my console. I don't know where this came from. It's just a game. He lost. It's not something to take like someone's console for. This is my property and it's going to stay that way. Don't talk smack to me. Also, you're too old to be playing games anyway. I was 13, but what the F is this woman talking about? And my baby did so well in his spelling bee, and I need to give him a gift to show how proud I am. This kid was like 8. The hardest word he could spell was probably between. So give me the console now. She reaches out for the switch, and I quickly hop out of my seat and walk further away from her. She hops off her chair and storms towards me. My heart completely stopped. I cannot handle stuff like this very well. She looks around the room as she comes towards me and gives a Grinch grin. Help! Help! Somebody! This little crap stole my child's portable Xbox! That's literally what she called it. However, her brat whispered in her ear it was a Nintendo Switch, so she screamed that out afterwards, sobbing, "He stole my Nintendo Switch, and I want it back." My mom must have overheard this whole conversation from inside, so she comes storming out of the room and wonders what's going on. Entitled Mother had no idea she was my mom, so she said to her, "This little brat stole my child's console. Could you call the police, please, and have this boy arrested for theft?" No. That is my son, and we both put money together to pay for that. I know for a fact that's mine because I have the receipt for it. She pulls out the receipt. Entitled's mother's face goes bright red for a second. "She stole my receipt!" How could I have time to steal the receipt if I have been in the doctor's room the whole entire time? Entitled Mother is speechless. She storms straight towards me. "Get the F out of here, you little crap, and give me the Switch!" She tripped over in front of me. I started snickering. Then she grabbed my foot and took me down. Then this old broke stands up. He looked like a biker. Jean jacket, tattoos, sunnies, long beard, bandana. He stands up and defends me. He grabbed her arms and folded them over her back, basically pinning her to the ground. Entitled kid screams, cries, and grabs the guy's beard and yanks it. I am nowhere close to having a beard, but I feel that for some reason. He lets go of Entitled Mom and falls back onto the ground. Entitled Mom gets up and grabs a taser out of her bag. Again, tasers are illegal in Australia, and charges at me. I used to do karate back when I was 12, but I sucked at it and left as a yellow belt. But boy, did all those lessons pay off. I knocked her arm out of the way and kicked her right in the stomach. Probably the best I could do in karate. This was self-defense, so I couldn't get fined for assault. The cops arrived. Someone probably called the police when the whole "he took my Nintendo Switch" argument started. They take her to the opposite side of the room and ask my mom and I to sit down in another area, along with Hiro as well. I couldn't hear much of it, but all I can remember is her yelling. "He took my son's property and I was trying to get it back. He pinned me to the ground. She stole the receipt for the Switch. He kicked me in the stomach. Okay, can someone explain what happened throughout this entire situation? I want to hear it from your point of view. I explained how I was playing my Switch and her brat wanted to play, so I allowed him because I'm too nice for some darn reason. Then they were trying to steal it from me. Then when I refused to give it to them, entitled mother accused me of stealing. Then when she got busted and caught lying, she tried to attack me with an illegal weapon. Then a hero saved me. Blah blah blah. You heard the story. Mom showed the receipt and ID that proves that the receipt is hers because it had her name on it. Goodness gracious me. Would you like to press charges? Me and Mom. Yes, most definitely. So entitled mother was charged for child abuse emotionally because it put me through a lot of stress, and I was scared for my life as a 13-year-old. Carrying an illegal weapon, which was such a stupid thing to do. And apparently she had done a whole lot more things than this a long time ago. So she got charged for a whole lot of other reasons and got jail time. For 5 years. Entitled kid had to go to his dad, who we met up after the whole incident. He was such a chill guy. He wanted to give us money for all the trouble his ex-wife put us through, but we declined because he seemed like he was already going through a lot. By the way, this is my first ever Reddit post to this subreddit. I have a lot more entitled parent stories to tell. Thank you so much, Toasty Boy 6. We appreciate you telling your story of that tragic incident when you were 13. What do you guys think? Comment down below what you would have done with this kind of situation. Let's move on to the next story, and might be the last story for the day. I got a couple long ones here, so I want to get them told. I hope you guys enjoy, so let's dive right into this next story. Alright, our next video is Plow My Driveway for Free! In college, I sort of accidentally got into the snow removal business around my neighborhood. Since I had a weird class schedule that gave me a lot of free time in the mornings and not a lot of homework, I had purchased a small John Deere compact tractor as a project to tinker with in my garage in my spare time. I got it for next to nothing since the previous owner knew nothing about it and considered it to be just a stupid lawnmower and just wanted out of his yard. Well, the thing is, this was definitely not a lawnmower. This was a proper tractor with hydraulics, and everything has shrunk down to about the size of a Mini Cooper. The kind of thing a homeowner would use for basic maintenance work around the property that requires something a little beefier than a riding lawnmower, but not quite a full-blown farm tractor. It was about 30 years old when I bought it. Had been built sometime in the 80s, but ran perfectly, and since the guy threw in a snowblower attachment with it, I figured I could make a little extra cash clearing driveways in the morning before class. I had to fix a few things and added a spot to carry a shovel for the spots I couldn't get with the blower, and I was all set. Well, after the first major snowfall, and just going around offering my services to neighbors, I had about 20 driveways that I could go do and got the money I paid for the tractor, which admittedly wasn't much, back pretty much immediately. It wasn't charging a whole lot since I just had some kid, not a professional snowplow contractor. But most people on my street were elderly and very grateful for my services and tipped me pretty heavily. There were a few people that actually seemed to enjoy shoveling their own driveways or had their own snowblower who didn't pay me to do it regularly. But they would ask me occasionally to do it as a one-time thing if the snow was super deep or they just didn't have time. One lady who lived 3 houses down from me, however, had pretty adamantly refused my help at the beginning of the season and almost seemed offended that I thought she was incapable of shoveling her own driveway. By the way, this woman was pretty much 26 at the most and had like 7 or 8 kids. She even had her own bus, which was a converted Ford Econoline van that she used to transport them all around it. I guess her only hobby was passionate hugging. I figured with all these kids taking up her time, she would be thrilled to have someone look after her driveway, but I guess not. February rolls around, and while my roommate, still jealous of her by the way, was on vacation down south somewhere, we got absolutely hammered with snow. Like I'm talking a foot and a half to 2 feet overnight every night. I had to get up extra early each morning just to get everything done before I had to go to class around noon. I always just cleared a single path out of our driveway so my roommates could walk to class and I could get the tractor out. But I never fully cleared our own driveway till last. My roommates didn't have cars, and it wasn't like I was going to take my truck anywhere if I was out blowing snow. One day, I get finished with my customers' driveways and come home to finish cleaning up our driveway when passionate hugging obsessed lady comes over waving her arms around me. Since that's pretty long to type each time, we'll just call her Entitled Mother for Entitled Mother as always. Excuse me. Me shutting off the engine so I could hear. Yes, what's up? Would you mind plowing my driveway? There's just been so much snow this week, I just haven't been able to keep on top of shoveling it. I don't have time to do a full cleanup as I have to go to class soon, but I can get it open enough that you can get out, and I'll come back after class and get the rest if you want. This is how much I usually charge, but since I don't have time to do a proper job this morning, I'll do it for half the price. You're joking, right? How can you take advantage of a single mom like this? If I could afford to pay someone to plow my driveway, I would. You disgust me. I ask you to do me a favor as a neighbor, but you have to try and make a quick buck off of everything. I can't believe you're this lazy that you buy a machine like this to plow your small driveway and won't even help your neighbors out. Your generation is hopeless. You're right, it is overkill for my driveway. That's why I have about 20 people in the neighborhood paying me to do theirs as well. This is kind of a business for me to make some extra cash while I'm in school, and if everyone else is paying me, why should I do yours for free? I bet your mom and daddy pay for all your schooling anyway. You don't need the money. She's not wrong. My parents busted their butts off and saved up probably 3 times as much as was necessary to put me through school, to which I am forever grateful. But that doesn't mean I don't have other living expenses I need to pay for. So what if they did? Diesel fuel for this thing isn't free, and I'm just asking for enough to cover that, and some compensation for my time, which is pretty much how any other business operates. I don't think it's unreasonable of me to charge for my services. Your parents probably pay for that too. Wait till they realize what a brat you are and cut you off financially. Then you will see what life is all about. This really rubbed me the wrong way, because my parents have paid for a lot of stuff in my life, which again I am very grateful for since they were helping me pay off my truck while I was in school. I didn't really feel like I owned it yet. I know it sounds silly, but the tractor was the first major thing I ever bought entirely with my own money without my parents' help, and I was very proud of it because of that. I was done dealing with her at this point and just went back to work cleaning up my own driveway, then went to class. Unfortunately, I have to walk past her house going to and from school, so on my way back I walk past her house and her bus is stuck really bad in this driveway, like it has gotten stuck and then slid sideways partially onto her front lawn. She's outside trying to dig out the back wheels, and when she sees me, she explodes. I couldn't get my kids to daycare because of you, and missed work because of it. It was 11:20 when I talked to her that morning. Who doesn't have their kids in daycare already by that point? Also, people are usually at work by then too. I just ignored her and went inside. For the next few days, it continued to snow relentlessly, and I continued making an absolute fortune by college student standards off of the storm. It was so bad some days I had to go back out after class and clear the driveways again. Everyone was more than happy to pay and tip me both times, and one old lady even gave me a thermos full of hot chocolate to keep me warm. My tractor didn't have a cab, obviously, with the extra people who usually did it themselves also calling me and asked me to bail them out on top of my usual routine. I was doing pretty well. Every time I come home, I'd always see entitled mother trying unsuccessfully to dig herself out, but she just couldn't deal with all the heavy wet snow the city plows would push onto her driveway from the road of her own. I felt bad for her, but whatever. If she was going to be rude to me, it was not my problem. Eventually, she flagged me down one day and tells me she'll give me whatever I want if I'll just please come and dig her out. Apparently, her work was threatening to fire her if she kept calling in because of the snow and not being able to get her kids to daycare. I did it for her, and she paid. No tip, which was understandable with her situation, but did apologize to me for being so rude and now understood the value behind of what I was doing. She still took care of the snow on her own most of the time after that, but she did ask me to help her out on occasion when it got really bad, which I did get paid for. I never had any issue with her after that, and I think she learned her lesson. Alright, thank you for sharing that story with us. I am glad that she was able to learn her lesson. I would have learned my lesson if I had to dig my own car out like that and being threatened to be fired from work. Alright, what are your thoughts? Put them down below. Please leave a like, put a comment, and definitely please subscribe because it does help me out. If you want to put the notifications on to let you know when I post my videos, that would also be awesome. I do appreciate everybody's love and support that you're able to give to me, and I hope to see this channel grow into something more amazing. I will be working more on my video game channel part here soon. I had to tinker with some settings just to get my recordings to work properly with the graphics. So stay tuned for that, and I look forward to coming out around again with some more crazy videos for you from either entitled parents or even some choosy beggars or just no mother-in-laws. Alright everybody, you have a great rest of your night, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye!